Hi, I'm John, and welcome to Edgestone Studios. In part 2 of my console restoration, I get to work on trying to get some sound out of this unit and show you how much I don't know about what I'm doing. Let's get to it. Next morning I got to making some more cable connections. So I had a whole bunch of leftover XLR connectors from building the studio. Some of them were wall jacks, some of them were cable ends. And I got the two-shell connectors and sorted them out and got some blanks, and then did a whole bunch of soldering to get 4 microphone cables connected to one of the two-shell connectors, and that way I could start testing channel strips. And in doing so, I would be able to do banks of 4 at a time, move the two-shell connector over to the next connector, and then check the next 4. At least that was my plan. Okay, I've hooked up a two-shell connector to 4 mic inputs. And now I'm going to try and test some of the channel strips, but first I got to put them back into the board. So there's my 4 connectors going under there. They're going right now into number 63. Number 63 equates to channels 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I can just move that along and test 4 strips at a time. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get the strips in. Got the camera set up to film me. And so that's what I did next. I got 4 of the fader strips, the actual numbers 1 to 4, and got those installed. And once those are installed, I just randomly selected 4 of the channel strips and put those into the first 4 channels of the chassis. And as I was doing this, I kept thinking, man, I got to clean these things. They're so filthy. But I was way too eager to see what was working than to get to actually dealing with the grunge. Okay, now I got to go get a microphone because I want to test this out. But just take a look at this, the way the units sit in here. So they just easily slot in. There's these nice little guides here. So as you put the unit in, it can only go between those guides into the slots, so you don't have to have a lot of free room to see what's going on. Look at that componentry in there. It's pretty fascinating. And these are the channel strips. You got 24 sends. Technically you could have 24 buses on this, but there are no buses. Goes through all your connections before it hits the mic preamp. EQ section, or EQ sends. So there's 4 mono sends and 1 stereo send. And then the gain control for the tape section, which will be the DAW, and then onto the faders, which would be the monitor section. So pretty fascinating. And then everything routes through all these ribbon cables over to the patch bay, over to the master control units, up to the VU meters, and also all this connectivity for the motorized faders, which are computer controlled. So you notice all this cabling is the computer controlled cabling, whereas the regular sockets are going to have ribbon cables on the back for the analog control. Pretty fascinating. Okay, so I've got the mic down here now and a mic cable. But because I'm an idiot, I wired the wrong connectors on here. I put the frickin' male connectors on. I don't know what I was thinking. I grabbed a wall jack that I thought I was going to use. It was supposed to be female. It was male. And I went, oh, I've got lots of male connectors. I'll throw them on. Anyways, I guess because I'm kind of lazy, I'm just going to rewire one of them. But because I'm impatient, I'm going to do it right now so I can try this thing. I want to see if it works. I want to see if I can get sound. Here we go. So I removed one of the ends and resoldered it with a proper female connection. Okay, so I've got the mic set up now. And this time I've got it wired to the correct type of connector. The other three I can't use right now until I resolder them. So nothing's powered on. And what I'm gonna do first is start my camera so we can get a long view. And then we'll fire on the power here. Now I finally realized that 48 volt, obviously that's the phantom power line, so I don't even need that on for a dynamic mic. We got power going on everything. We got the control room level, I'll put it moderate. I forgot to turn the speakers on, so let's get those on. These cute little mix cubes. These are the original Aventone mix cubes when they first came out, in the cream. So I've had those for quite some time. Okay, those are on. We want to be listening to the mains. We got the control room level up. We know that works because we were able to test the other day with noise here. Should be able to do that again right now. There it is. You can hear it if I get it closer. So I don't know how that level relates to microphone levels, but let's turn off the test tone. And this is the first I've seen lights over here. First I've turned modules on. So what do we got showing up? We got line in lit up. We got the peak lit up, or the green on the peak. So let's double check what that's about, because I think the light beside the peak is not the actual peak light. Edit some of this out. So we're looking at 41. Classic old school way to look up information, kids. The peak LEDs indicate proper levels of microphone preamp output. The green LED is that a minus 20 dB signal is present, and the red LED becomes illuminated. It indicates overloading. So we got a minus 20 dB signal because the default on this system, when you look at the mic, is that it's always minus 20 unless you hit this. Now, that's already in, so I don't know why that's still on. Got no light showing here, but I do have a light showing here. No light there, so this fader might not work. LED could be burnt out. But let's give it a shot here. Now the other thing I have to do is, this is one of the early dual inline boards. So what does dual inline mean? It means the mic signal comes in, goes out the back to the tape machine, which would be over there. The tape signal from that channel comes back down and goes through everything and then comes out through the master section. So by default, if I listen to the mic, I'm not going to hear it because it would be going to the direct out to the tapes, or whichever selected bus was up here. Sorry, 17 was selected. So instead, what I want to do is flip this so that we're listening to the output from this strip before it goes to tape, and that's supposed to happen over here. So your mode could be line out or line in. And, oops, sorry, I'm not even showing you. The mode could be line out or line in. So I want to be listening to the line out, not the line in. And then as I'm talking into this mic here, I'll turn up some gain. I've got some gain up. I'm not seeing anything on the VU meters. So, you know, once again, I really don't have a clue. Sorry, there's the VU meters. Gain is up. Bring up the fader. Bring up the monitor send, bring up the fader. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. I'm seeing nothing. So, once again, I'm at a loss. I'm probably better off to do some looking myself, and then this could be anything from me with miswiring the connector to I've got one of the wrong inputs selected to I'm not routing things to the 2 bus. There's just a lot I don't know. I've read the manual. I didn't memorize it yet. Okay, so I guess I will try some more things. Okay, I figured out how to tell if it's in line in or line out mode. Right there, those red lights show that all of those channels are in line out. If I go over here, hit line in. Now all of them are in line in except for one, and that's because that one has something pressed that's going to change that. What was that again? The reverse? The reverse. So you hit reverse, you could change this strip into line in, monitor line out. So each one can be done right there. Okay, I'm slowly learning. I just got to figure out how to make sure I'm listening to the 2 mix here. Oops, that's AGM. A little bit more investigation. Okay, well, I have worked on this for a while and I can get no levels, I can get no sound. I'm pretty sure I understand what I'm doing, but I could be wrong. I could have miswired something. That channel might not work. I could swap another one, but I think what I'll do is I'll wait till tomorrow, wire up the other 3 connectors, try all 4 channel strips, see if any of them work, and then start troubleshooting from there. Okay, back at it tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day, and last night while I was reviewing the footage and hearing myself talk about how I have no signal and nothing's happening, I realized something, or I saw something. Basically, I saw this peak light come on in the video. I wasn't looking at it during the filming, so that means a signal was coming in. And then, while I was sleeping, I woke up and realized I never put the master fader in. So let's connect that up and see what happens. So that's what I did. I got the master fader installed. I put it in upside down and then realized it was backwards and flipped it around. My typical. And then plug things in. So here we go. This is what I mean. I've got the VU meter up, or sorry, the gain up very loud, and now I'm seeing a peak light come on here. So let's see if I can get a signal going. Check 1 2, check 1 2. And which path am I in? I don't want that going to the bus. Okay, so take that off. And check 1 2. And then there was more testing and more fiddling around with things. Okay, I just noticed something I didn't notice before. I still got no sound, but look at this. That VU meter is working, and this is the test tone going through it, so I can adjust the level of the test tone. And then I should be hearing that. Oh, definitely. Well, that would explain why my test tone level was so low before. Because I didn't have the frickin' master fader in, so that's working. It's a bit scratchy, but look at VU meters. Now I think I also figured out this board here at the back, this disconnected. If you look here, it says PHM, that's a phase meter. And that's the back of the phase meter there. So this has been removed for some reason, broken, whatever. I think I just need to fix that contact. Okay, so some VU meters work. I just got to figure out if I can get the channels working now. Maybe I'll get back to soldering those mic cables. Okay, I got further. This is what I did. I basically put the send on here to 1 and 2, put channel in so we're listening to the channel, which is the mic channel, and then over here, if I go to send 1 and 2 and come back over and talking to the mic, I have stuff coming out of those speakers. This is actually working, and it's going to be kind of frapping because I've got my preamp really loud. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. So adjusting the level, of the channel path affects the send. If I put a pre-fader, then this will not affect it. I'm getting the unaffected. And then, geez, I'm not even showing that. Check 1, 2. Put a pre-fader, I get the lower level signal. Then I could turn up the gain. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Send a post input. Oh, there is life in this beast, but the VU meter's not working. I don't know if the channel strip was working. I guess I could reverse here. So let's flip. Now it's being controlled by the fader. Turn the fader up. Okay, I still have something happening there. I guess I should back up a bit. I'll learn this videoing thing someday. Okay, I guess I'll wire more connections. Wish I could figure out why the VU meters weren't working. I mean, I will be able to figure out. I just wish I already knew. So cool. Okay, more to come. I did a little more investigation. That led me to a little bit more testing before I wired anything up. Okay, I just figured that while I'm at it, I might as well check the other sends. So let's go over here and go to send 3 and 4, because I already tried 1 and 2. We'll put 3 and 4 into channel. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. I'm not hearing anything there. There's 4, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. What's missing? Send 5 and 6, send 3 and 4. Let's turn their levels up here. Okay. Turn that 3 and 4 up. Check 1, 2. Okay. So there's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Both of those are working. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. So they're coming out of each speaker. Let's try going for 5 and 6. Check, check, check. Check, check. Okay, 5, 6 doesn't have a channel feature, so I can't send it to the channel. So basically it's listening to the line input instead of the mic input. I'm not sure what to do there. I guess I'll wait till I have a line input set up. So I got back to soldering, but this time I didn't bother filming that. And I soldered 4 female connectors onto my 2-show connector, and now I had the ability to check all 4 channels. Okay, with a little bit more learning, I've gotten a little bit farther. So a friend of mine came by after I'd just wired up or soldered up the other 3 connectors to be correct. We did some testing, and then I found noise on those 3 connectors and realized that I had wired the ground and the cold wire backwards, of course. So those have been resoldered, and there's been some improvements. So first of all, I figured out this networking a little bit better here. And there's a switch right here that's TIR, that's direct. If you click this, then the channel is sent directly to the line output without passing through the subgroup network. So by clicking that, I've got some gains on. Come down here, put this into line out mode. And if I talk into the microphone, then stuff is coming out of the speakers. And over here, you can see I'm in the 2 mix mode, not the send. So I tested some sends. It seems like send 1 isn't working on any channel. But on top of that, while I'm talking, look at that VU meter. It's working perfectly. I can get levels there. I can adjust that level by changing the line output, turn it up for too much, turn it down for less. So that's working. Now, the other cool thing I figured out is this. If you're not in direct, then the signal is going nowhere. That's why you're getting no VU meter. But if I press 1, that's the same as going direct, except that I'm going through the bus network. And if I press 1 and 2, it's now going to channels 1 and 2. And because I have gain and because I have the channel volume up, I can hear both. Also, I have to be in line out mode, because in line in it's not working. Line out mode, and we're listening to the line out. So I've got that going. Send number 1 isn't working on any strip. Channels 3 and 4 haven't given me any sound yet, but channel 2 is working, so I am getting there. Next, I set about testing all 4 of these channel strips now that I had some understanding of how this board was working, and I was able to get some results and had some issues, and soon I was ready for a wrap-up. I've done a bit of troubleshooting. I've swapped a few faders here. Fader number 1, when I muted it, just plain stopped working. Fader number 3 was never working. And now I'm on fader 4. So I found that 12 works, 2 works, 7 does not work. These 3 channel strips work for sure. This one might work, but this fader isn't working, so I'll have to move 2 over and see if that works. And I'm going to see if I can find 4 good ones just for testing 4 at a time. So that's how far I've gotten with testing audio. And now it's time for me to move on to cleaning the unit, because it's just so filthy I can't stand pulling those modules in and out in their grungy state. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.